Hi there. So I don't have a regular YouTube channel. I don't make regular videos, but sometimes on a whim, I'll make a video about something I've purchased just because I enjoy watching them myself. I think they're great when you're researching something you're thinking about buying. I recently bought a Louis Vuitton mid-size wallet that I hadn't seen before. I was out shopping with my husband. It was kind of an impulse buy. We just walked into Louis Vuitton because for once there was no line and we were passing by. So we said, oh, let's pop in. Typically there's a really long line outside of our Louis Vuitton's boutique. So went in, didn't expect to see anything, and then end up buying this wallet. So what I bought over the weekend was the Juliette wallet. I hadn't seen it before. It just jumped out at me and impulse purchase. So it comes in this box. It's a little tight. You've got the dust bag and voila, it is inside the dust bag. The color stood out. This pocket on the front stood out. I really liked it. It breaks up the monogram. I actually had my eye on the Monogram Victorine, and I don't know, this kind of just stood out as a great alternative. I love this little snap detail. Sorry guys, I might be a little scattered because I'm not used to making these videos, but snap detail is just very classy and classic to me. And so yeah, I purchased it, and now I'm, for whatever reason, just second guessing my purchase. It could be because I already have a couple of wallets, or I'm also just kind of wondering, will I love this color over time? I guess that's the great thing. So I do have the Victorine in Damier Ebene, and I love this wallet. And so this is what they kind of look like next to each other. You still have the snap, both have snaps. I understand that over time, this may kind of wear off. My essay told me to watch for that and actually kind of suggested that I get the monogram when I was buying this, but I love this, and it actually matches another purse that I have, the Neo Noe. And so I love the red interior, but this video is really about the Juliette. But as a first impression, I did want to show these next to each other. I think that the Juliette is just slightly longer, but just slightly. For the most part, they're both mid-size wallets. This one is a tad bit thicker, but if you're looking for a mid-size wallet, I think these are both good options. This is the, let's see, card holder retro. No. Card holder recto verso. This is another thing that I bought without, kind of on an impulse, without doing a bunch of research. It really was an impulse. I was buying a purse, and I can't remember the name of the purse at the moment. It's a circular purse. It doesn't have a lot of room in it. And my essay was like, what kind of wallet do you have? And I said, well, I have the Zippy and the Clements. And he was like, you're gonna need something smaller. So he gave me a couple of options, and I ended up going with this only because it fit, not because I loved it. And the truth is, I don't love it. I've actually thought about selling it. I took too long to kind of use it, and so I couldn't return it once I realized that I didn't necessarily love it. So that's just a quick visual. So if you were to compare these, they're also kind of similar, except obviously the card holder is thinner. And then for one more size comparison, I want to show it up against the Zippy. So that gives you a sense of the size. This is the largest Louis Vuitton wallet that I own. I actually sold my Clements and got this. I was a little skeptical about getting this color, but because this one is mostly closed, and you're not opening it constantly, and it's, you know, kind of secure within its zipper, I went ahead with the lighter color because I do think that this is beautiful. I'm not. Back to the Juliette. You've got this one pocket in the front. It's kind of loose. It's not super tight. I noticed that on some of the other wallets, especially the Victorine, these card holders, these slots were really tight when I first got it, and it took a minute for them to loosen. I mean, I guess it's a good thing that they're tight because then you don't want your cards falling out. But this is kind of loose, so I wouldn't put anything too important in here. The good thing is it does secure it with a snap. And I guess it does need to be a little bit loose so that there's some give when you're popping that open over time. So after you snap it open, on the interior, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 card slots, and they are pretty secure. Got all this slot there. This does not open to a slot. And then you've got a cash slot. And there is one zip compartment with a divider, which I really like, because on the Victorine wallet, this zipper slot, as you can see, is really tight. It's really restrictive. And I put a couple of coin in there. I found it very difficult to get the coin out, which started to annoy me, so I just stopped putting anything in there. I really only use it for the cash slots and the card slots, which right now is empty because I'm using a different wallet. So it's nice. Sorry, I keep doing that, guys. It's nice that on the Juliette, you've got a more generous zipper compartment, and you can put coin in there, card in there, cards in there, I should say, whatever you want. So it's just not as restrictive. I do like that. Again, that's what I really like about it, is it's not, you know, your typical just fully monogram in your face print. I like that the color breaks it up. I actually checked the website just to see if there were additional colors that were available. There were not. I saw maybe the Damier Ebene version, which I didn't like, and I believe I saw maybe a reverse monogram, and I didn't like that either. I'm not a huge fan of the reverse monogram. I only like it in maybe one item. The Dauphine, I think, is the only piece that I've seen where I like the reverse monogram. For the most part, I don't like it. So I did not care for the reverse monogram in this style, but I really do. Even as I talk to you guys about it, I'm like, ooh, I do like this, because it's so different and just a departure from everything else I've seen. And I really love a medium-sized wallet. I love this snap closure. I did put a card in here yesterday, and maybe I'll show you real quick. So yesterday, just to test out this front compartment and how it would be to use it, I slid a card in there just to see what it would look like. And when I went to grab the card, it slid down in the pocket, which I was like, ugh. So then it was kind of cumbersome to get my fingers in there and get it back out. And I wear nail polish a lot, so I'm always scared that my nail polish is going to transfer onto my SLG, and I really don't want that to happen. I will say I prefer, I had to get my husband's Subway card. I prefer cards to be kind of like this, so they're easily accessed, if that makes sense. So I'm just not really sure what I would put up here. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's cute, but I'm not sure it's really functional, at least for me and my lifestyle. For someone else, it may be your jam. You may be like, I know exactly what card I'd put there, and I have no problem, you know, getting it in and out. And as I said before, the slips or the slits for the cards are not as tight as other wallets that I've had. They make it easy to put in and out. I haven't used these yet, but they're not, you know, when I got the Clemens, it was pretty tight. It was kind of a little bit of a fight to get my cards in there. And then the money fits in there nicely. I do notice though, when I stick money in there, that it is a little bit deeper than the, not the Clemens, the Victorine. Sorry guys. It's a little bit deeper than the Victorine, which is neither here nor there at this point. I don't know because I haven't like test driven it yet. So I don't know if that's going to be a plus or a minus or a neutral. I do know that the zip compartment is a plus, as I said. That is definitely a plus because I need that real estate, that security, and something that's just easy to get my hands in there, especially if it's coin, to just get it in and take it out. So that alone may cause me to keep it. Lastly, this one is made in France. I used to wonder, so I got my first Louis Vuitton back in 2012, and I loved the brand, but I didn't know a whole lot about it at the time. So I went into the boutique and I bought a purse and I left with it. And I didn't know to think about where it was made or where at the time about craftsmanship. Mine was made in Spain and I've since sold it. But when I went to replace it, it was the Never Full PM, and I went and bought the MM. I got one that was made in the USA. And again, it sat around for 30 days plus before I used it for the first time. Well, at that point, I don't know how I had stumbled upon like the fact that some of the items and some of the pieces that were coming from the USA weren't made as well, but somehow I had stumbled on that. And so of course that led me to checking out my Never Full. And of course, I saw the things that were being pointed out, but it was too late to do anything about it. 30 days had passed. It was mine. I owned it. And so I just decided to let it go and love it and enjoy it. And I won't get into all the things that are different, but I will say this. If you're going to spend that much money on a luxury item, you do kind of want it to be up to the quality and standard that Louis Vuitton is known for, or any fashion house or brand is known for. You don't want something that's under par. You don't want something that is less than. And so now I am kind of careful to make sure that my items are made in France or in Spain. I know that there are a lot of Louis Vuitton lovers, that it's a big community, and some people in their heart and soul just want something that, if the fashion house and the history goes back to France, that's where they want it to come from. I'm not sure that that's the reason behind my need for it to be in France or Spain. More so for me, it's quality. If things that are being made in America are, for whatever reason, being made not as well, then I don't want it. So if it's made in America and it's a good quality item and they're doing exactly what they did in France, using the same materials, same craftsmanship, same pride, then I'm okay with it. But I was happy to see when I got home that this one was made in France. My Victorine, I always want to call this the Clemens. The Victorine is also made in France. But I will tell you, this was my third or fourth one, and the other ones were made in France as well, and they all had flaws. So it may not be, there may be the level or the layer of there being quality issues in America, but I think that there may also just be quality issues with Louis Vuitton in general. And I hate to say that, but as a consumer and as a lover of the brand, I have seen some issues. And honestly, I even see an issue with this item, which is made in France. I see it's never going to be able to show up on camera. It's only probably visible to my eyes on it, holding it up close, scrutinizing it. But there's just a slight, I don't even want to call it a tarnish, it's more like a blemish on this little button. And it only bothers me because of if this was a Coach, if this was a Michael Kors and it was $100, I probably wouldn't care. But because this is a Louis Vuitton that is over $800 after taxes, I care, it matters. I think that because this one was out on display, it's probably why it has that little blemish. Again, I'm trying to decide if it bothers me enough to return it. I know that if I take it back, it won't be to exchange it, it'll just be to return it. So I'm still giving it some thought. But I do hope this review was helpful. If you are looking at this wallet, again, I am maybe not the best video maker, but I still wanted to put my little 2 cents out there about this wallet just because I didn't find a lot. So there's some pros and there are some cons. So yeah. All right. Bye, guys.